Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is an exciting day. I was supposed to actually make a video yesterday, but I'm glad I held back because the Edmonton Oilers have made some big moves in free agency, and to say the least, it's been very exciting. One move that was bad, but most of this offseason was a big positive. So let's go over everything and talk about what the Oilers have done. Of course, we already know that Puljujärvi was signed, and we already know that we did really good in our draft. So what did we do in free agency? Because this was our next big step to making a very powerful team heading into next year, is whether or not we're going to have a very explosive offseason, which I think we did. I think we had a very good offseason, and a lot of people are now hating the move that we just made, which was signed Mike Smith back to a one-year, $2 million deal, which is pretty fucking pricey. Now, it does say it's 1.5 cap hit, but it's like a $2 million AAV because of the fact that is bonuses and stuff like that, so it goes up to like about $2 million. So it's a lot of money for Mike Smith, but it is what it is. So let's go over to everything and talk about the first signing that we made, and that was Kyle Turris. Kyle Turris got bought out this year. He was like making $6 million a year, and it was going to be going until like 2023-24, and he was already a declining player. He wasn't producing as much, and he's making $2 million for the next 8 years. So he signed with our team for the next 2 years at a very cheap contract at $1.650 million. His base salary this year is only $1.1 million, so he's not making very much this year, but next year it bumps right up to 2.2 because of the fact that we'll have more money next year. I think this contract is really good. Kyle Turris, he's a guy that's going to give us more points. He's another guy that could be on the lower end of the power play. He had 31 points in 62 games this past season. He said in an interview that he's going to try to improve upon his defensive game, which is what he's been doing there in Nashville, trying to improve on that. And I'm very happy to hear that because I think he's going to be a huge piece to our PK, not just at our power play and our third line. And he might be a guy that plays alongside of Jesse Puljujärvi, who I think is going to be, I think that third line is going to be a very scary line for a lot of teams to go up against if Puljujärvi's producing, and if Kyle Turris is doing the exact same thing. We would have to get all those guys producing, of course, but I think we can. Kyle Turris in the World Championships, I mean, in 10 games at 10 points, and I know that's just the World Championships, but that's still very impressive. We know Kyle Turris can put up a decent amount of points, and Kyle Turris is a very good player, no doubt about that. This guy is going to be a very good third line centerman for us, which is something we were looking at for a very long time. Last year we had Riley Sheahan, and Riley Sheahan was a great guy. I loved him. He was a great PK guy, but definitely wasn't the point producer that we're going to be getting out of Kyle Turris. Kyle Turris, he's going to produce a lot of points for us. He's going to be a good power play guy, probably even a good PK guy. Now, he's definitely analytically not the best defensive guy in the world, but I think he's going to improve upon it. And yeah, so very good move by the Edmonton Oilers picking up Kyle Turris. And then the last move of the day, we picked up Tyler Ennis back on a one-year contract with $1 million, exactly the same as last year. Tyler Ennis was a huge energy guy in the playoffs. Unfortunately, he got injured near the tail end of the playoffs, which was a bummer because he was a guy that played really good. In 9 games, he had 4 points. In the playoffs, he had 2 big points in 3 games. Tyler Ennis was a very big player, especially during the regular season. In 61 games, I mean, he had 33 points. So he was putting up a lot of good points. He had about 37 points, and he's only worth $1 million, which is just absolutely crazy that Tyler Ennis is just worth this much because he had a really good year, and I think he's going to be a guy that could fit anywhere in the lineup, right? You look at it, he could fit on the first line with McDavid. We've seen that before. He could fit on the third line with Kyle Turris. He could go on the fourth line, right? He's going to be a guy that could fit on every line, which is something we need for the team, right? And I think Tyler Ennis is going to bring that type of hockey, which is perfect for us. I love Tyler Ennis. I love the way that he brought some energy to the team, and he's a speedy guy. We're really going after that speedy game with a little bit of physicality, and that's what we have built with this offensive core, we have a very good top 6. Now, we really have to hope that Puljujärvi or someone jumps up into that top 6 because we don't have any for sure fire top 6 guy to jump up in that lineup. So we only got those 2 deals on that day, and I was already pretty happy with the deals that we made. But today, we had the biggest deal of them all. Tyson Barrie is officially an Edmonton Oiler as he signed a $3.75 million deal. Now, this was a guy that I was talking about a lot. Reason why? Because Tyson Barrie is a guy that can move that puck, and we need a puck-moving defenseman. We need it. I know a lot of people say that we need better defensemen, and Tyson Barrie might not be that perfect fit for the team, but Tyson Barrie had 39 points for the Toronto Maple Leafs last year, and especially for Colorado when they made their run a little bit when they played 12 games in the playoffs, he had 8 points. This guy is going to be a huge power play guy for us. McDavid's going to love him. He's going to be a guy that can move that puck up the ice faster than anyone else. And this was a deal that I was electric about because Tyson Barrie got offered $6 million, but he decided to come to Edmonton for a way cheaper deal at $3.75 million. Do you guys know what this means to this franchise? This means everything. For years, we have never been able to get guys on team-friendly contracts, but now we've just been able to. But then the worst deal of them all to end the day off, we had Mike Smith sign on a $2 million deal, which, I mean, it sucks, but Mike Smith, I know, is the worst goalie in the league, and we all know that. He's definitely not the perfect 1B goalie, that's for damn sure. And I'm hoping Mika Koskinen definitely starts more games than Mike Smith. It sucks, but it's the life that we have to deal with. I'd rather get Aaron Dell or somebody else and maybe make a trade. But I don't think Ken Holland was really looking at that. He really wants to keep the picks because next year we only have a first and then we only have a 4th, 2 6th, and a 7th. So I think he just really wants to hold the picks that we have and don't trade away any of the prospects. And you guys got to remember, we still have tons of time with McDavid. We have, 2, 4, 6 years left on his deal. I know that in your guys' head, oh, sorry for hitting the mic there. In your guys' head, that's definitely not enough time, but next year, we're getting Nuge off the books. I mean, we're definitely going to be re-signing him, I think, as a rumored 8 years at like $7 million, so we have to pay him an extra $1 million. But we're getting a ton of our defense off the books. Larson, Russell, Barrie. Not just that, we also have Seattle coming in, and maybe a James Neal could be in a talks. And not just that, he's going to be having 2 years left, which would make it an easy buyout for us to get rid of James Neal. And then we would have a crap ton of money heading into the offseason, and maybe a possible new goalie coming to the squad. So there's tons of possibilities. I take a look at this year as a big stepping stone for the team. Now, is our goaltending gonna be a weakness? That's for damn sure. It's gonna be a big glaring weakness. But I'm hoping Mika Koskinen can step up for us. But now we have a glaring issue. We only have $700,000, and we still have Ethan Bear as an RFA. He's kind of the last guy that we need to get to a contract. So I don't know what's going to happen there. If we're going to be able to get, I know we're going to be able to get Ethan Bear back as he is our RFA. So we are going to have to clear some cap. Either that or Klepom's going to go on the LTIR. But I'm not too sure what Kenny's going to do next and what's in his back pocket right now. I don't know if this is going to be the finished product, as it is only second day into free agency. We still have tons of time before we hit to the next season. So for right now, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Tell me, guys, what you guys think in the comments section below about this offseason. How you guys think of the signings. I think the Mike Smith one was a terrible deal. I don't think we should have got. I think we could have got him for cheaper. But the Tyson Barrie, Turris, Ennis, all those deals were fantastic, especially under a $8 million cap. And fuck all you guys who think we should have brought Anthony Ciu and Benny back. If we brought Anthony Ciu and Benny back, we would have never been able to do the stuff that we were able to do. We would have never really went for Turris. We would have definitely been on a main focus of Barrie, but we would have been up to the cap very, very hard, right? That's the thing. We would have we would have never been able to get Barrie because that $3 million that we spent on Barrie would have went towards Anthony Ciu. So, oh my God, saliva is building up there. Jesus. You can definitely tell that I have cotton mouth right now. High as shit. Anyways, Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to tell me guys how in the comment section below on how you guys think of this offseason. I'm going to give this offseason a B+. I think we did very good. I think if we got a goaltender, it would have been like an A-, A, right around there. But I definitely give this a B+, B offseason for Kenny. I think this has been a phenomenal offseason. I think it's definitely been a stepping stone for years to come for the Edmonton Oilers. Very excited to see Tyson Barrie on the ice. Same with Kyle Turris. I'm excited to see some new faces in Oilers uniforms. But for right now, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Adios, amigos.